Welcome back to Apex Challengers Super Week. We're going into Group B now, our first match of our evening session. Africa Freaks Red will face off against X6, and we've come a long way since Africa Freaks Red was the most hyped team in last season's promotions. Now, fourth in their Apex group against the new first place of Challengers. This is going to be an exciting one because Africa Freaks Red has more experience, but X6 looking almost impervious in Challengers, so they've got to be a good challenge here for the Africa Freaks.
Yeah, definitely have to be. I mean, you mentioned the last promotion tournament. Africa Freaks coming into that one, able to win their way in alongside their sister team, Africa Blue, in Apex Season 2. It's up, I'm Kilio, says Wolf. And, you know, they were against other teams that we were very hyped for. Runaway having basically like a second breath of life, as we saw them make a massive run all the way into the grand final, but also alongside the likes of Meta Athena. And we thought that this team would do well. And granted, they were put in the group of death, but they weren't able to pick up a single map win. It was a 0-9 run for Africa Red during Apex Season 2 against the likes of Misfits, Lunatic High, and LW Blue. So definitely not the easiest teams that they could have been squaring off against, but to not pick up a single map is pretty condemning for the squad.
It's condemning, it's disappointing, and I think it's time for a change. I think this team needs to kind of get it together. Obviously, they have a big sponsor in the Africa organization with their sister team, Africa Freaks Blue. They were two of the strongest teams that were picked up early on in Overwatch. Well, we could talk about hype. We could talk about players having skill and perceived skill, and then getting big orgs behind them. But look what happened to MVP. Not the greatest success story. Africa Freaks Blue did really well, and especially in Apex Season 1, making it all the way to the grand finals. Yeah. But Red has always been the team most people are saying is, actually, it's so sad they didn't get into Apex because they're even better than Blue. That's what everyone was saying. But they haven't lived up to the hype yet.
Yeah, they really haven't. And I mean, going into Apex Season 2, the big one that we were both excited for after the promotion tournament had occurred was Atune, who had some stellar performances on his McCree and his Tracer especially during those matches, but completely just not showing up in any of the games really that they played throughout the duration of the split. So going to be looking for a turnaround performance from him. Maybe the pressure of being in the main tournament got to him, but you can't have those nerves when you're on stage, when you're playing for your spot to retain in Apex Season 3.
Absolutely. They don't want to go back down to that gauntlet in the Challengers where they have to fight against so many other teams that are so eager for that Apex money, that Apex prestige to be able to play offline here. Africa Freaks Red started, the Season 2 looking to be a strong contender, not taking a single map in a tough group, unfortunate, but they're still a strong favorite, I feel, to get out of this promotion tournament in Super Week. But X6, we don't know that much about them. There's a new team that looks really strong on results on paper. We're going to a live patch now, so it's a different world than when you go back and watch the Challenger games. But I feel like this is one of those teams that could be, say, the new Runaway. Yes, Runaway did play in Season 1, but they went down to promotions, then suddenly shot back up, went all the way to the finals. This feels like the team that could go all the way, just looking at what we've seen already. Not saying that, just from what we've seen in Challengers, like they're going to win the finals. I'm saying this looks to be a team like Runaway that could break out.
Yeah, and we have to see what they're going to bring to the table, because honestly, if they're going to be bringing out some interesting strat stuff that we've never seen before, maybe some new picks, they could maybe be more akin to the likes of Meta Athena, who is another team that we didn't have that much information about, but look at how much success they were able to have for themselves in just their first season of Apex. But here you go, Groups A and B on your screen. Already saw Flash Deluxe versus Mighty AOD. Mighty AOD coming out on top of that one. So the winner of this game will face off against them. Winner of that will qualify into Apex Season 3. And then on the other side of things, we saw Convox Spirit completely destroy MVP Space. A 3-0 victory there from them. Not even close really at any point there for MVP. So just completely dissected. So Convox also one win away from getting their spot back for Season 3.
So our format, we talked about it earlier if you guys were watching the afternoon broadcast, but now in our evening broadcast, the format hasn't changed. It's going to be double elimination, best of 5s, and obviously 6 teams will move into Apex Season 3 as we talked about before. Obviously the top teams, those are the ones that get there the most directly, so you want to just win that winner's match and have that fast track into Apex. So winning today's match leads you into that winner's match. You really just need to win those 2 best of 5s to get into the tournament. Obviously, failing to do so could relegate you down to Challengers. So that's what this whole tournament is about. Starts today, Tuesday, and will go on for the next 3 days, of course, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it will end on Friday. All results and all Apex teams will be decided then.
Yeah, so it should be an interesting run. of matches that we have coming up here. So starting things off, quad best of fives every single day. So long days for us and you guys back home. But an update here on our Group A bracket. You can see Mighty AOD coming out with that 3-1 victory over Flash Lux, which sends them into the losers match tomorrow. Mighty AOD will be playing in that winners match. Depending who they're going to play against depends on this first set that we have here for the evening. And then Conbox Spirit taking down MVP with that 3-0. So MVP space definitely in a very rough spot. One more loss, and they will get knocked back into challengers for yet another season. And there's a decent chance, honestly, that they have to play that game against their sister team of MVP Infinity, because Rhinos Gaming Wings comes in as our number 2 team from Challenger, and they've been looking really good. Tied match score, actually, with X6-Gaming, but fewer points. They dropped a couple extra maps in comparison. So they do come in second place, but they still look like a force to be reckoned with. So this is going to be potentially very tough times for MVP as an organization.
Very key, the fact that MVP, both teams are in the same group, means that this match is really important for Infinity to avoid having to face their sister team in that elimination match. Of course, the losers match, not fully in the but that's a scary place. You don't want to be in that situation. But they're, again, the underdogs, I'd say, against the Rhinos Wings here.
Yeah.
The real question mark for this set of matches for this evening is how good is X6? Because there's so much hype behind this team. All the Koreans are talking about how good they are. The big story being Godsby, the DPS player for the team, and how well he's going to stack up now playing here offline. Because playing offline, it's a totally different environment to playing in your team house or just sitting at home.
You have a live studio audience sitting right in front of you, so
exactly.
It can add to the nerves.
We're filling up. The audience, it's still pretty early, but it's filled out quite a bit since the afternoon session as people are getting off work and school and things like that. So, look, I mean, there's a lot of pressure here. Freaka Freaks has played under the pressure already. They played the promotion tournament where there was a live crowd. They played in regular season Apex in that Premier League where there's an even larger crowd, a lot more pressure. They played in the top tier group, as you were mentioning. So they have all this experience behind them. So if Atune was getting nervous, he was underperforming in Apex, perhaps he's taken that experience, learned from it, and will perform better against X6. But I feel like in a certain way, the cards feel stacked against the Freaks because everyone is expecting X6 to do well in this tournament.
Well, they certainly are. And I mean, that could be stated by how many people are sitting on the side of X6's audience side here. And this is just a team that has not played on LAN. They've played only in the Challenger, which granted is on television here in Korea, but they already have quite many few fans coming out to see these guys.
So a few roster swaps here with Rio and Creed coming in. The key here being, I feel the two strongest players on the team have always been Dala and Atune. Ty Dala playing almost exclusively Genji, by the way, and occasionally D.Va. Yeah. This team is super dive focused, very similar to Conbox in terms of how they play the game. Lagermain has some really good Zarya, as well as he's played some good Roadhog in the past, but this team, with their old roster, they were very inflexible in terms of hero pools. They almost play the same comp every single time. Atune being, the flexible player able to play those two DPS roles. Dala always on the Genji. And it felt like they were a very predictable team in how they played the game. So hopefully they've changed it up with this new roster.
Well, we'll see how they're going to do because they have only recently been completely confirmed for the team. The 8th of April here was when they were officially signed on and submitted for this tournament. So you have to wonder how much practice have these guys gotten. Granted, there was probably an extensive tryout period, you would hope at least, for the Freaka Freaks. They are a seasoned organization, so they do know how to handle these matters, but how much quality practice they've been able to get is going to be a question that we have leading into this series. So on the other side, it is the #1 team. We might not know much about them, but we know that they've been rather dominant in the 3rd season of Challenger.
That's right.
So we have to expect quite a bit from these guys. You already mentioned Godsby, but Time Boy also, their other DPS coming in here, looking pretty good as far as their standings.
Definitely true. I've heard some rumblings about Bebe, but less, strong as I've heard from Godsby. Like, Godsby's the guy everyone is pointing to, right? And the crowd that they have here, as you mentioned, is quite massive. It's larger, really, than the Freaka crowd, and there's a lot of people. The cheers were louder, and we saw this with Meta Athena as well. This new team that came up through Challengers had a large crowd behind them. And when you're playing on stage the first time, you have those nerves, right? But when you have the audience with you, or at least a large portion of the audience with you, it feels less stressful. It feels like the people watching you are on your side. And that's definitely something that X6 knows. Walking to the booth, when they walked into the stage earlier and did their, hands in the center, they got to feel that crowd cheering for them. It's their moment. This is their time to shine. They did it online. Now they've got to do it offline here at OGN. It's not going to be easy with their first opponent being the Freaka Freaks Red.
Well, at least on paper it shouldn't be, but we'll see what kind of performance Afrika can put up and whether or not X6 is going to live up to the hype. We're ready to dive into our first battleground here. You can see King of the Hill going to start things off, and we're going to go back to Oasis for the second time today and see how these guys fare. As Flash Flux having success there, and then it all fell apart. Rather, not Flash Flux, it was our first set.
Yeah, that was the Paul set, but the second one we went into Oasis where Combox just showed some incredible play with the Sombra, Twilight on Sombra, and that's where we saw the incredible EMPs. I feel like that's something that Combox Spirit had actually kept hidden. I wanted to show in their opening match. We're going to find out if that's something that's kind of prevalent and new in the meta right now tonight, because so far it seems like something specific to Spirit, but maybe one or both of these teams try it out here. It worked really well for Combox Spirit. Space didn't seem to have an answer.
Yeah, we've seen other teams in the past in Apex try out the Sombra, just not having too much success with it. Meta Athena especially go for some very cheeky plays, tossing the translocator, trying to land behind the Reinhardt, hack him so he can't put up the shield. But that was definitely the most dominating Sombra performance that I think I've ever seen so far in this game.
Definitely so. Will Afrika Freaks Red and their experience triumph over the new rookie team X6? The crowd is behind them. We're going to start things off. Game number 1 on Oasis. Let's jump into it.
Get it?
Okay, Oasis. Starting things off with our evening session, getting it all ready. Yep. I'm scanning, I'm hoping for the Sombra lock-ins, but so far not yet.
Yeah, not seeing any of those coming out quite yet. Just in case you guys didn't watch the first set, or maybe you're new to Korean Overwatch, this will be a best of 3 on Oasis, not a best of 5.
That's right.
As you would see in other tournaments and in your solo queue. So just going to be the first of 2 maps, and we'll start things off with University.
Godsby locked in the Bastion for now, but I figure that's probably a bit of fan service as he's one of the more popular players on the team. We'll go back to the Pharah, a little bit more normal. And this is basically what we expect to see.
The King of the Hill Bastion strat, that's real disrespect from X6 if they were to go with that one.
But we're going to have Rio on the Winston here, no smite as well, so pretty mirrored builds here, or rather mirrored strategies. Too much StarCraft on my casting history. Dala once again on the Genji, so not really switching it up just yet. Oh, that was a quick kill. Godsby already popping off.
Yeah, it's going to be Quartermain going down already, so a very nice start here. For X6, they'll follow up with the kill onto Na'Vi and Attune, so the Pharmacy comp has been taken out. Tidal going low is going to have to retreat, as well as Ryu, who's jumping over the wall. Rio looks like he might just take himself out. That last rocket, not going to connect, but that still is going to give the first cap over to X6, and they'll get that meter rolling.
Well, from what we've seen from Godsby, already pretty impressive accuracy on the Pharah. And we'll see if he can continue this baby, keeping him healed up and also amplifying his damage here. That pocket healing, already at 63% on the res, 20% ahead of Na'Vi currently. Having that old lead right now. Just continuing to build that right now, as you can see, on the edge. And you know, they have built this meter up quite a bit. They're going to have to decide if they want to commit resources to saving it, though, and I don't think they can anymore with both flying pharmacies dead now. Baby and Godsby do fall. And Afrika Freaks will recontrol this point, it seems to be.
Yeah, Godsby actually killing himself off his own explosion there as the Attune just flew right up into his face. So he goes down, and this will be a retake by the look of it here for Afrika Freaks as they clean up the rest of the team. So X6 not wanting to rush in one at a time, stagger themselves. We'll just go ahead, hang back, get gathered up, and try to get a push. So far, Afrika gonna be almost having 4 ultimates available, 5 here, as Attune is now at 80%. But for now, Creed and Na'Vi having theirs with the Tracer and the Mercy combo in case things go awry.
And those kills were really important to help them get those Earl ults, and they're already nearly caught up.
There we go, the Pharah battle yet again, but the healing is there from the Pharmacy comp for Attune, so he stays alive. Takes down Godsby yet again. It's just going to be blows exchanged on either side as the barrage comes down from Attune, trying to go ahead and pop the enemy Diva. Will get her out of the mech. She goes down in the end. Self-destruct. Not going to get anything done for them. And Afrika pushing back in, trying to get this cap. Looks like they'll be able to do so. 56% now for X6. But Afrika, many ultimates in their bank at the moment.
Notably, Dala switching off the Genji back into the Diva. This is normally the secondary hero that he plays. And obviously he's quite good at it, but I feel like the lack of mobility Genji has and the frustrating Pharah that they're dealing with here with Godsby, I think this is the better option here. He has the self-destruct to help hold this point. They have more ults right now. Godsby looking for an opening here, of course, to use that barrage So far unsuccessful. Really good coverage here for the Afrika Freaks Red.
Yeah, it's got to be really careful that it doesn't get consumed by Tidal with a right click. Timeboy goes in, pops out Rio rather, and Godsby will go down. Again, just a bloody fight coming out as kills come out on both sides, but Afrika will maintain control.
Okay, Gilly gets that boop kill as well onto the Tracer. Pretty rare to see that occur. Still the barrage available for Godsby, and they have res, so they can actually really dive commit in here. Here's going to be the sound barrier. They're going to try to use this opportunity. Timeboy, unfortunately, does not have a pulse bomb. He's not really finding too much here. Quartermain escapes his wrath here.
Trying to chase him around. We'll pick up the health pack, so that's not going to be available for the Lucio, but he's still ticking his way up steadily here with his own passive healing, so it looks like he'll be okay as Timeboy gives up on the chase. Gilly, meanwhile, running along the walls, trying to keep himself out of harm's way as that self-destruct comes down. Actually, Tidal will find Godsby, yet again picking him off. So far, it's a 2-for-1 in favor of the Afrika Freaks.
Bebe died, so they can't res. They didn't have the res here. Atoon's just going to use this defensively. Nice absorption here, though. They're actually going to cause him to die. No Smite gets the kill here. Overtime is ticking.
Yeah, let's do it. Time now for X6. They do get a couple picks here, but they need much more than that if they're going to go ahead and recap this. See just Creed dashing away, keeping himself elusive as best as he possibly can to make sure that he can just delay it here, keep it in overtime, and prevent X6 from capping. Yobin gets knocked out of the Diva, almost has the mech back as he's just firing away, will actually get it, can re-enter safely.
They have res here. It feels like it would be wise for Afrika Freaks to just allow them to recap this, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. They don't want to waste their own res here. They're about to have Sound Barrier, they're about to have Primal Rage, Self-Destruct, all these ults coming online. Even Creed will have his Pulse Bomb soon. Unfortunately missing that barrage. Godsby's been holding on to this barrage for a long time. Probably would have had a second one by now had he used it, but he's being really conservative. Bebe dying earlier made it really tough for them to break through, but they did manage to do so without using all their ults here.
Oh, Rio taking quite a bit of damage. Those rockets, finding those body shots coming through as Godsby just fires down from above. Self-destruct comes through. Tidal trying to find a pick, won't be able to get it. And that's going to be Creed going and distracts him for just a second. Atoon follows up with a kill, picking out Godsby yet again, but 88% on the meter for X6, climbing closer towards that overtime point to tie up with Afrika Freaks, and it's just going to be a war of attrition. See who can whittle away at the other's stamina. Creed getting some work done. Pulse Bomb comes out, but that's going to be the Primal Rage popped, and Creed down to 3 HP. He'll die in the end, but still, X6 is the one that comes out with the first round.
Very close call there. Godsby got rezzed, still did his maximal damage. The res timing a little bit off there. He didn't actually get the sound barrier on top of him, but he still respawned, had that extra damage. Holding on to that res for so long was Bebe. He wanted to use it earlier, but he died, but that might have actually been a blessing in disguise as they had it there for that last hold. A very close first point here on Oasis, as you know, the last series that we had was, or both last series were a little bit one-sided. Even the map that Flashlux won felt very one-sided when they played earlier on Nepal, but this is the closest one we've had so far in terms of control points today, and the series is not disappointing already. So we're going to go into our second map here. This is where we saw the Sombra before. Not going to see it from either of these teams. Creed, interestingly, on the Roadhog this time. Godsby switching over to Genji. This is a really good point for him, obviously, with the Ana and Lucio to support him. It's going to be a full dive with Hyobin on the Diva.
Had been spoken going into that first game. That was on guard, and now into University here. As you can see the standoff already coming through. X6 opting to go in for the high ground. Not something that we saw in our second set of the day.
It takes a really good hit scam player to play McCree on this map. We've seen Eska play it quite a bit. Atoon's going to try his luck at it here. He's in a really risky spot right now, but he's still finding a decent amount of damage. He's chased away now. Creed actually gets a pick on this mech. Atoon somehow finds extra damage here. Stays alive.
Well so far here, but Afrika need to get on top of the point if they want to prevent this one from going over. X6 nearly get the cap. They're shoved off now, so the meter will be retreating. Pulse Bomb coming through, finds Rio, and he goes down with the help of Yobin. And right now, it looks like Afrika might just have the upper hand. X6 trying to delay as best they can, but a nice hook comes through from Creed. Follows up with a kill off of Timeboy into No Smite. And that is just going to be Afrika taking control here starting things off rather strongly, and they already have almost 6 ultimates in the bank.
Atune has that Deadeye, and a lot of resources were spent trying to kill him, but they were unable to get it. Creed got several hooks on some of the members that were trying to chase him down and kill him. So really good synergy here with the Freaks, with this composition. Atune's known for his McCree. He's playing it very well here. That charge was questionable.
Yeah, definitely not the one that he wanted, but the Earth Shattered still connects, locks down Bebe, and to take him out immediately. Rio will lose his life, but so far, it's been a fairly even exchange across the board as the Freaka still maintains control over the point. Godsby getting dashed, pushed back forward there by the boot from Quartermain. Needs a couple more hits to take out the Genji. Not sure if he's going to find it. There we go. Actually will lose his own life as Godsby finishes him off. Idala trying to get to that health pack. Will get popped into Baby D form and finished off. And that will be the first take for X6 in this round. But 45% coming through for a Freak of Freaks. A pretty nice start.
Took them a lot of resources to make that happen with the Nano Boost to the Dragon Blade, but they do.
Freaka lost every ultimate.
Yeah, they lost everything. On top of that, they still have Primal Rage, they still have Sound Barrier, and Godspeed did a lot of damage afterwards, so he's nearly ready for another Dragon Blade. So this ends up being a really good exchange for them.
Hook coming through. Yobin gonna get grabbed in. The Sound Barrier comes down, keeping the mech alive. Sleep Dart connects on the Dala, and we can see they're just happy to go ahead and leave him on the ground for now.
Being forced to use that Sound Barrier defensively means they're not going to have it for the Dragon Blade, but Nano's coming up fairly soon. Timeboy on the chase here, actually, in the backlines, has a Pulse Bomb. Not going to use it just yet. They're in really good position here to defend. They don't need to force anything right now.
Dashes in, drops it right as Atune goes into the Deadeye and takes him out. Perfectly timed by Timeboy, aptly named. And
named indeed.
We'll go ahead and get rid of Godsby, killing him with the Biotic Grenade. Good dodge here on the hook. Timeboy dashes over, looking for the health packs. Not there, but doesn't matter. Has the headshots to help finish off Creed, and X6 will just keep maintaining control of the point. At the moment, the Sound Barrier comes down for a Freak of Freaks red, but 2 members have already gone down, not profiting from this one. It looks like that might be enough, especially with that Earth Shatter coming through. Then the push in and try to get the cap off. Earth Shatter not really connecting. There's a charge as he gets spooked over to the side, but now Freaka trying to fire back. Atune has taken out Timeboy. They're looking for more, but the Primal Rage up in his face. He throws out the flashbang, but still has to peel back.
Rio gets the kill on that Meg. Atune does get the Bio Grenade to survive. They're just trying to buy time, trying to buy more percentage here with this ult. The Primal Rage.
Oh, we almost got Gilly. There it is.
Okay, Bebe is down, unfortunately. Godspeed can't really Dragon Blade here. I think they're just going to have to let this point go. We'll see if they try to commit. Creed does have this whole hog he can use to seal the deal. And yeah, it looks like X6 is just going to give it up. There's a kill onto Hyobin.
Oh, well, actually, that was pretty profitable here to get rid of the whole hog from Creed. Used that right at the end to try to clip Timeboy, but not able to find anything for it, so just kind of wasting that one out. X6 will come back in with a slight ult advantage, have 3 in the bank at the moment.
That's the scary thing here. They have Nano Blade, and they have the ability to, you know, boost it here.
Timeboy finds Atune yet again!
Again!
Plants it right on his face, gets rid of the Cowboy. Godspeed, though, goes in, has the Nano Boost, but gets slept on immediately by Bebe.
That feels Rio Chung right there. Canceling that out. Rio is boosted here as well and does have the ability to Earth Shatter. Gonna charge in here, misses another charge.
Yeah, well,
doesn't really matter though.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a zoning charge.
Yes. Well, the last charge, we actually got behind them for it, so perhaps I misspoke, or maybe he just got lucky. Either way, he got behind them, got the Earth Shatter off. But a few mischarges this game. All right, X6. All they have to initiate here is the self-destruct. This is going to be pretty tough, but they're going to have to try at least one more time here.
Rio going to be looking for that Earth Shatter. Here we go, self-destruct comes in, not going to find anybody to take the shield low. Rio is pushed back. Step back in. And we can see already Creed coming up with 2 kills. The Earth Shatter comes down, does lock up a couple members, but Rio has to be worried about his HP right now. He will go down in the end as Gilly actually finishes him off. The Deadeye coming through, and just going to get a little bit of damage in to help pop the mech. Gets that flashbang coming through, and they will take out Hyobin in the end. And yeah, it's going to be the overtime ticking down, and Freak of Freaks red will pick that one up, tied us up in a 1-1.
I feel like there was the big story of this game was whether or not Atune could do all that free damage or if he was getting blown up by Timeboy over and over and over again. Some really clutch saves as well from Rio despite the weird charges we saw there, but that was a really close exchange. The key moment, I feel the big turning point was the wasted Nano Blade where the Sleep Dart came in. That was 2 wasted ults there, and that was the turning point where they lost control. They didn't have any other way to engage or initiate on the point. They threw out that desperate self-destruct, but they didn't have anything else.
Yeah, had they had that for Godsby, who knows what could have happened there for X6. I did misspeak actually during that and didn't have a chance to go back. It was Navi who landed the sleep dart, so putting on his best Jaehong impersonation there was Navi. So really crucial of him, potentially game-winning if they can close it out here on this final point as we move into City Center.
Okay, City Center, it's all about the...
Oh my god,
oh
Attune!
God.
The body shot's already coming through, using the wall behind him as well to help just clip out the Mercy, finishes him off, and just throws a wrench in the Pharmacy comp. Such a crucial start for Freak of Freaks.
This is going to be nice for them. They basically almost guarantee control of this, at least in terms of ults as well.
I mean, he'll be able to get back, but yeah, exactly. It's going to be all about the barrage percentage that Attune is accruing for himself. 24% already here for the Farah, so it's looking really good for him. He's trying to get another answering kill, jumping up into the face of Bebe. Won't be able to land the shots this time around, but can he get Godspeed is going to be the question. One more would take him out, but the Farah comes back in yet again to keep him alive.
Winston on point here, though. Rio gets the kill on a Bebe. Nice pairing there. Definitely a call, and oh, the kill on the Godspeed as well.
Attune on fire now with this Farah. And you can see X6 nearly suffering a team wipe there. That's going to give full control to a Freak of Freaks Red to start things off. Several ultimates on the way, 56% for Attune. Creed almost having that pulse bomb, which will definitely lock up X6 as they try to re-enter the point.
Godspeed going to swap, actually. He's had enough. Going to switch to the McCree.
Sorry, I can't duel you, but I can at least shoot you out of the sky with this one.
Well, I mean, he's a mechanical prowess player. He's going to look for headshots here, actually getting very accurate shots so far, hitting anything that goes into his crosshair.
And unfortunately, right now, it's just going to be the Winston as Rio is playing quite far forward, trying to disrupt, and Attune just comes around the side, finds Gilly, and takes him out immediately. Moving several members back, trying to keep them separated as best as possible to continue these one-on-one pickoffs.
You can tell how quickly Attune is firing. Oh, I thought we were going to have a self-destruct here. Dala has his own. He's going to pop it here to save himself. He gets flashbanged and slept. Actually, will eventually get taken out.
It takes a little bit of a nap, but that's the barrage coming down. You can see able to make it around the wall, but actually bounces back out to try to get the hook. Timeboy just wanting to interrupt the barrage, but ends up losing his life because he wasn't paying attention to Creed.
This is a dominant performance by the Freaks this time around. They are totally controlled. You can tell by the way Attune is moving, how quickly he's firing. He's in the zone right now. He's feeling the confidence. He's not hesitating for a second in any rocket he fires. And that's important. That's the confidence that he sometimes didn't have in Apex Season 2, but he absolutely had last season promotions.
Zoning pulse bomb thrown out there by Creed, not able to find a stick, and actually we'll just see that right click to the face as Timeboy does take him out 1-for-1 at the moment here as X6 tries to get onto the point, trying to get a first cap before it's able to enter into the overtime. But Yobin coming in all on his lonesome, no one there to back him up, just gets picked off and taken down yet again. Rio, a little bit too greedy, trying to kill off the McCree, will lose his life, but still, Afrika in a decent spot, but Timeboy's going to try to change that one. Whole hog coming through with the nano boost, looking to shove Tidal off the map into the street, but will not happen. Instead, he makes it into the suit, will be able to pop that one out yet again, but it's into overtime, and X6 have already lost a couple members, have to pop the sound barrier to try to finish this one off. As the tune goes down, I think they'll be able to get it, but still, 1% to 99. It's going to be a very long and arduous climb for X6 if they want to win this.
Most people would argue that on this map that the McCree is vastly inferior to Farah in terms of what they can accomplish because there's so many walls in the way. He hasn't been able to use his Deadeye because there's no opportunity to, and he's being constantly threatened by Attune non-stop. And it's not that he's a bad McCree player and he's trying to use this perhaps to counter Attune's Farah, but he's had no success so far. He does have that Deadeye, he needs to get something from it. Oh, Gilly gets killed here.
Yeah, it's going to be a really crucial opener here for Freak as they try to retake this one, and just 3 kills with the help of Attune coming out for Creed.
Rio dies to the car!
Rio jumps in looking for the kill. Will just get executed by traffic. But still, Afrika coming up with some crucial picks here. They do lose a couple members as they rush back to the point, but they're trying to get the recap in right now. Almost just over halfway there, but no spite. He pops the Primal Rage. He's trying to buy as much time as he possibly can.
Critically, Navi has Resurrection. He can resurrect these members if they dive in, so this is an opportunity to just come in here, not even having to commit ults.
See the self-destruct coming through. Going to try to find a pick. Won't be able to get anything there for Dala. But they're still hovering around. It's still so close to being capped here by Afrika. A couple more seconds off the point, and X6 will be losing control. The hook comes in, just looking to pop Yobin yet again. Nano boost thrown down to keep him alive. Big burst of healing does come through. So they have it for the moment. Res used for Creed to come back up. Raj ready to go.
Gonna have to dodge the self-destruct first. Yobin buying so much time here for X6.
So they all pile on top of him, just trying to get rid of that Mac. Barrage coming down, finds Baby. They take him out, but Godspeed from the sidelines is able to work him down, and now it's 84% for X6. They're working this as close to their own overtime as they possibly can.
Finally, Godspeed gets the left clicks. It's another one there onto Rio. Super low in health, has a Deadeye now. He is carrying this game on his back right now, 14 health.
Yeah, definitely took the first couple rounds to get warmed up, but now looks like he's ready to go. Creed going low, might just get popped, and he does. Another kill going over to Godspeed, who is still just holding on to the Deadeye. Control meter has not moved, and now we're into double overtime. Both teams, 99%. Attune gets popped. Godspeed with a flick just takes him right out of the sky. Rio and Na'Vi both will go down, and this might just be the opening that X6 has needed so desperately.
Does get killed by Baby Diva here, but that will be the cap. X6 going to take the final point here and the map. A crazy close series already here on Oasis to start things off. That entire map, I feel, was decided by the matchup between Attune and Godspeed. Attune was destroying him in the air battle when it was Pharah versus Pharah. Attune had no parallel, and then even after he switched to the McCree, Godspeed was unable to find damage. Finally, when he was left in that one zone where he could shoot between those doorways, no one was pressuring him, and he was getting kills left and right just with left clicks alone, not even having the Deadeye, getting Deadeyes up repeatedly. And he carried the end of that game, absolutely. He had a struggle in the early game, Pharah versus Pharah, and the beginning of that McCree, the transition was rough. But at the end, he sealed the deal.
Yeah, he really did. And there's a lot of people that, even if they did try to go for him, they're overcommitting, separating themselves from the rest of the team and getting picked off. You saw Rio trying to go in, finish him off with the health pack there to back up Godspeed. And he does come up absolutely huge in the end there. And they put one win on the board for X6. So Afrika, very well fought. Attune looking back on form, the Pharah especially, very crucial, but just not enough to get them that victory.
These teams look they have so much finesse. This is a much stronger series than we saw in our first one, and the closest by far today. Let's see where we're going for map number 2, our hybrid map. We've seen the Kings Row so far twice. It's going to be 3 for 3 for our assault/escort. This will be the map choice, of course, of the Freaks.
We'll see how they fare on this one. We saw Mighty AOD get shoved all the way to point C and have a very desperate but very crucial comeback there, stopping it from reaching the final point.
The question is,
and then absolutely destroying their way to the end.
The question is, who's going to be playing Zarya here for the Freaks? I'm really curious if it's going to be Tidal playing it this time. Who's going to actually step up into that role? It was Lagermain in the past. Not going to be the case today. We saw it a lot, but I'm excited to see who they're going to bring to the table because we didn't see that on Oasis. It's not really a Zarya map, but this absolutely is. X6 with a very close win in game number 1. We'll see if Kings Row will be just as close as Akilos had jumped the gun on trying to hype this game intro. Let's start it over again. X6 with a close win in game number 1 on Oasis. Afrika Freaks Red looking to tie it up on their map pick, Kings Row. Let's jump into game number 2.
Excellently done.
Thank you.
I get it.
Here we go, Kings Row. The Road of the King, as it's called in Korean. Find out who will be kinged, winner of game 2. So starts Quartermain on the Widowmaker to start things off this time. We always see the attempt on Kings Row attack.
Something tells me it probably won't be Quartermain bringing that one out, but you never know. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw that flipped over to the likes of Attune perhaps. But he could try to get that intro shot and then swap over to the likes of the Lucio perhaps. But we'll see where they want to go with this one. X6 starting things off. It's going to be the solo DPS right now with the Soldier. So Diva, Reinhardt, Roadhogs feeling like the meta when we were casting the last promotion tournament. So nothing too crazy coming out here for X6.
All the data we have, I believe Godspeed's most played hero was the Soldier. Obviously not a strong pick for Oasis, but it would be a strong hero here. So he showed us already a lot of skill on the McCree, the Pharah, and now we're going to be seeing his accuracy on Soldier. Something that actually historically in promotions has been very important. Saya player, Attune, these players on the Soldier when he became the solo DPS in that meta. There's the switch to Lucio, so we're just going to see the sound arrow come out.
Yeah, Sonic Arrow gets tossed out. They don't spot too much here as far as the composition goes, and Na'Vi will swap back over to the Yana as expected. Actually, no, it will be the Zenyatta in the end, so going to be changing things up a little bit more. They have that pseudo dive comp Yeah, actually the full dive comp now completed with the Zenyatta in the team roster here. And Attune just dashing into the back line, trying to disrupt here onto Bebe. Gets him pretty low as the Discord Orb is sitting there and will finish him off in the end. So nice picks already coming through for Freaka Freaks on the assault. Godspeed forced into the building on the back side of the pit, just trying to fire off with the Helix Rockets to get some kills coming through, but he's doing not enough for X6 to hold on to this point. And he'll actually get taken down by Quartermain as they shove forward.
Dala surviving here, nearly has that Dragon Blade. A full cap super early, nearly 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, good lord.
This was a really nice first push here for Freaks, almost flawless. And Dala now has that Dragon Blade. Not even going to need to use it anytime soon. Going to wait for Transcendence. And this is an easy shove. X6 probably going to be kicking themselves after that one. Just committed too much there, lost too many.
See how far forward X6 wants to play. Looks like they will be playing the corner, at least for the time being. They're trying to pick somebody off with Time Void, perhaps. And pushing up into the payload. See what they can get done. It's going to be, the pulse bomb going through. They find Godspeed already, and that's going to be the Dragon Blade pop. Tidala dashing his way through, comes up with kills onto Gilly and Bebe. The healers completely eliminated. And this should make for a massive shove for a Freaka Freaks as they go ahead and finish off Yobin right at the end.
Remember, people watching this at home, fans, Tidala plays nearly only Genji, so he's not as known as some of the bigger players like Haksal, for example, who are you, but he's very strong on the hero and can carry fights like this even without Transcendence. As soon as he sees an opening, Dragon Blade's in. So Transcendence is still available. Can still use that. Yeah. They're about to have Sound Barrier, so if he builds up another Dragon Blade, boom, they've got triple ult here to utilize.
Tree's going to get his hook block there. As the barrier comes through, and X6 that's really going to try to stop this one. Massive Earth Shatter coming through. They already take out Navi, Creep, Quartermain, and Rio will all just be falling. It's Tidala and Attune. Now just Dala by himself. He'll just peel back, trying not to get killed, but it's to no avail. Can't do anything. That's the team wipe coming through. And Freaka, well, they get their push halted right in its tracks, but they still have 4 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Dala died there because he wanted to try to poke and retreat and get more for the Dragon Blade, but they didn't use any ults there, so they, it was unfortunate they got stopped in their tracks, but they all kind of sync up their spawns again, can move together for another push, and X6 had to use several ults to stop this, so economy-wise for ults here, the Freaka Freaks definitely still in the lead.
Yeah, they're in a good spot, but crucial Earth Shatter from No Spite. If he can hit those in the very key moments, could be game-breaking here for X6. You can see Sound Barriers coming down on both sides. That's going to be the Nano Boost thrown in onto No Spite. Smite just swinging away as best as he can. Hasn't come up with any kills yet. And actually, Bebe will go down to the backside as Navi finishes off Time Boy, that making use of those Discord Orbs. No Spite finishes off Creed, but gets taken down by Dala, who pops the Dragon Blade yet again, getting rid of the tanky members of X6. Attune.
Get the late respawn
Godspeed right off the end, and yeah, that should be the rest of this shove coming in here for the Freaka Freaks.
Notice how these ults,
such a time bank.
Notice how these ults were staggered. Quartermain drops the Sound Barrier to have this time. They don't want to stack it on top of Transcendence. This allows Dala to build up the Dragon Blade. He nearly gets it. He finishes getting it during the Transcendence. Once that's finished, he has it, and everything can be cleaned up by him. Now Navi's just going to switch off the Zenyatta. He doesn't need it anymore. He just wanted that one Transcendence. Now he's going to go back into the Nano Boost.
Well, they're going for the hub Nano Boost, but they're also going to go for Dala here on this Zarya. That's going to be their Shatter coming down. No Spite tries to get the charge, but he's taken down by Dala on this freshly swapped Zarya, finishing him off. And we'll see, he's going to win that Zarya battle as well. So Freaka just going to try to keep this payload moving forward. Yobin, one hit from losing the mech, will do so. And they're just going to leave him alive for a bit of time. Go ahead and stagger the respawn of that one, but already about to round the final corner is the Freaka Freaks with 3.5 minutes left on the clock.
Attune just wants to smash that shield. He wants to do as much damage as he can and build that Deadeye so he can actually force that Reinhardt out of position so they can pair something with it. Okay, here's the big Graviton Surge here. Godspeed does have his own Deadeye. Not going to use it, though, doesn't need it.
He doesn't have an angle, couldn't get around the payload in time to do that one, but Attune, he pops his own and takes out No Spite. Just couldn't put the shield up to keep himself alive. So another nice pick coming in, and Godspeed won't get anything done with his own Deadeye.
Okay, still an ult lead here for the Freaks. They don't have a good nano target yet. Rio does not have his Earth Shatter. He's nearly there. Could still be Earth Shatter to get it, but he's 10% away, so they're probably going to try to work this in together.
Yeah, just want to wait this one out as best as you can. Creed in the meantime going to go ahead and pop the whole hog. A lot of it getting blocked by Yobin here with that Diva. They're going to push forward. Electric Cowboy coming in for Freaka Freaks. Attune trying to hit those left clicks as best as possible. That charge from Rio won't come up with anything but the Earth Shatter. Going to get blocked immediately by No Smite. So no lockdowns coming through for Afrika. They're suffering for it so far. A 2-for-2 in the exchange. Trying to push back forward, just a meter away from closing this one out. The Graviton comes down, they finish off Bebe, they get Godspeed, and that will be enough for them to complete the push here on the first half of Kings Row.
That triple from Creed was what won them that point. He got 3 kills, killed the Diva mech and the Lucio in one shot. They got the follow-up kill, and they just had it up there with the Surge to isolate everyone else, get those kills. No one can get on the point to deny. Very well done, very coordinated by the Freaks. That was quick and easy, almost. It looked like just with how coordinated they were, how quickly they were able to push it. And they continuously staggered X6's spawns, which made it so that they were always pushing. There was no deny on that payload.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really well done by Afrika. They have a massive amount of time in the bank. You know, should they not be able to defend this for the full 3 points against X6, we'll see if they can do just that and win this one out and tie things up, make it a 1-1, or if X6 can go ahead and force this into a tiebreaker.
Creed with that clutch Roadhog play there at the very end. Very angry and focused here. They want to tie things up, as you just said.
You know, I question how well the synergy would be here for Freaka Freaks, what with these new substitutes coming in, and honestly, it looks pretty spectacular here.
It does.
So Creed and Rio, I mean, Rio having a couple botch plays coming in, you know, the Earth Shatter going straight into the enemy. Reinhardt, not the best thing, overcommitting with the Winston. You know, he's no Miro, but still, it's been overall a pretty strong play from Freaka from what we've seen in this first half of Kings Row, as well as all of Oasis. So this does seem to be a promising roster that they could potentially take in to Season 3 of Apex if they could just requalify.
One thing I've noticed, you know, since the beginning of this match is that Rio, hold that thought, this is some great Lucio showing here, but Rio has been consistently charging to look for the Earth Shatters, and when it works, he looks like a god, but when it fails, he looks silly, and that last Earth Shatter attempt was the one where he looked silly. Godspeed's going to switch here, of course, to the Genji as they go into this dive composition here with the Zenyatta, very similar to what we just saw the Freaks run.
Yeah, they're looking for their own, but Bebe, his positioning so far hasn't been the strongest with the Ana, so I'm interested to see how he's going to do with the Zenyatta, because out of position for 1 second, and he will get taken down. Attune is now here on that soldier. If he lands those Helix rockets, that'll be one dead Omnic. Already though, X6 pushing in, and lo and behold, Bebe has died.
Yeah, Bebe's dead. Hyobin, sorry, Chue Hyobin is his full name there, gets the kill onto Creed. So it's being a fairly even exchange here, but X6 not able to make the push they wanted. And Godspeed is just trying to farm that Dragon Blade right now, not committing too far in, just trying to build meter. Ooh, really aggressive position here for Rio.
Yeah, he has the Discord Orbs, can't afford to do that, so he'll actually get taken down as No Smite finds the kill. Dala will get popped out of the Mac. And honestly, this might just be a very nice fight for X6 to try to get some cap coming through. Hyobin will lose his own mech. And you can see right now just the Tracer battle coming in as Time Boy's trying to finish off Attune. Will be able to do so in the end, getting rid of that Soldier 76. And this looks very good for X6 as they start capping. So getting delayed out here in the end by Creed, but he will go down. How much do Afrika want to stop this is going to be the question.
I think they're just going to let it go, but the problem with that is that it forces X6 to, with all their insanely built-up ults, they just get it for free. So now they have not only the point, but they get all their ults. Had Afrika Freaks just charged in there, maybe they would have had a decent push, but they would have had to waste ults to do so. Now they have 6 ults, so that's the cost of Afrika Freaks just letting this go. Yeah. They're going to have every single ult available.
Going to be a 6v1 here, as Attune's the only one that has that tag visor. You can tell he's trying to sneak around, maybe drop in from behind. If he can get enough front-facing distraction coming in from his team, but No Smite gets better of this one. He goes ahead, jumps up into the window, so they'll spot him out. They're not going to fall for that.
And now they're going through this corridor now here. Godspeed has the Dragon Blade.
They take out Creed. That's going to be a really nice one for them. This corridor already coming down onto Rio again. Gets popped on a half HP. Pulse Bomb tossed out will help finish off Dala. As Time Boy comes up with that kill and Rio goes down. So the tank's eliminated from Afrika Freaks, and they're going to have to peel back. especially as the tune goes down.
Only pulse bomb used. Only pulse bomb used. Not even really necessary, but secures the kill. The push continues. Their ult economy here is insane. They've managed to keep their ults up this entire time. They're not wasteful ever with these. They're just going to hold on to them. Why use it if you don't need it? And if a Freak of Freaks are just going to let you push like this and hold on to them, then just hold on to them. I know this sounds silly and redundant, like I'm being a dead horse, but it's working out really well for X6 right now. Earthshatter comes in though.
Oh yeah, locks up multiple members, including Gilly and Bebe, as he's the first one to go down. They get both of the healers taken out, as well as the Diva from the Mac. And Time Boy will fall. God's being able to answer one back here on the Navi as Creed goes in the back line, trying to finish him off. Will be able to do so. Reverses to get the HP back. And that'll be a very nice hold here for the Freak of Freaks, just having to commit in on that Earthshatter. So honestly, not a terrible investment for them. Rio gets himself back up to 42%.
Surprisingly,
this will be a pretty even exchange, honestly.
Yeah, surprisingly, X6 still not using any ults. I think they got caught super off guard. They just died so quickly they couldn't actually use them defensively, but they still have them as a result. Yovin here has the self-destruct, looking to use it for a pairing, an opportune moment perhaps with the tack visor.
Creed having that Discord orb on him is going to have to play very cautiously here. You can see the Transcendence has come down, and now Attune having that tack visor trying to fire away. Gilly won't be able to do it right off the back side. He makes it over top of the payload and out to safety. So both healers will stay alive, at least for the moment. And so far, this is a one fight here for X6, investing all of their available ultimates to try to continue this push and get the payload to point B.
If they get it to point B, that second checkpoint, it's absolutely going to be worth it. If they don't, this was very expensive. And the Freak of Freaks not using too many ults here on the defense. So they'll probably be pretty happy with this exchange if they can stop it. That's the question mark here. Time Boy gets the pick off onto Creed. It's actually God Boy who gets the last kill. Earthshatter going down to try to secure this.
Oh yeah, the barrier blocking everything. Not going to have that one come through. And now Rio getting jumped on yet again. Clouded Grenade will help pop him back up. But it's going to be 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock for X6. They don't have any ultimates available at the moment, and there's a Graviton Surge here for Dala. If he could line this up, this would be massive, but they don't have much to combo with.
They don't. They just want to buy time. Even if this is a finish, they have a lot of time bank to work with here, so they don't need to stop this necessarily. They would love to, but they're going to play conservative right now, wait for an opportunity. Here it comes. Dala drops it right on the payload.
Yeah, sucking in multiple members, and actually Smite is going to be the first one that goes down as Tune pushes forward with that tack visor, looking for Bebe. Fires off the Helix rockets. They won't connect, so just going to be the investment of the Graviton Surge to finish off one member, but it is enough to buy them more time. Now just 30 seconds about on the clock here is X6 from tying the time bank of a Freak of Freaks.
And basically, no matter what happens here, Time Boy's going to look for the pick on Dala.
He got it. Yeah, but that was the stick coming through. No shield available to keep himself alive.
Basically, no matter what happens here now, the Freak of Freaks win on this. There's no way this could be finished in 21 seconds. It's just almost literally impossible, barring a massive mistake. So they're just going to play this conservatively. They don't have to overcommit. And this is going to end up being probably a very close game here. They want to eliminate the time bank as much as they can. Godspeed has this Dragon Blaze and look to close it out here.
Dashing forward, trying to get some hits in on a no Smite. It's going to be the self-destruct coming through from Yobin. Won't find anything, but Rio does go down as Time Boy is able to take him out. Godspeed dashing forward, not going to get a whole lot done with that Dragon Blade. Goes back over to the payload to try to get rid of Quartermain, who's just being annoying, dashing around. Drops the sound barrier right before he dies. And this could be the last-ditch effort here from the Freak of Freaks, but a massive Earthshatter coming through from no Smite does lock up Quartermain, and he goes down as Godspeed finishes him off. Exchange of blows on both sides, a 2 for 2 in Afrika. Of course, going to have that closer respawn. Might be able to hold on to this
Creed
one for a
buying
bit
so
longer.
much time. Creed's buying so much time here. He has another pulse bomb now, actually. Going to wait for it.
Trying to finish off Godspeed. They are able to get it in the end. And
they
you
hold
can
this.
See, that is going to be a nice hold. 3 meters away, but under 2 minutes on the time bank now is what it is for X6. So Afrika desperately trying to push this into overtime.
Rio has Earthshatter. Attune has the time bank tactic here with is High Noon. For some reason, I can't remember Deadeye. But Creed's got the pulse bomb, and Dala will have self-destruct soon. They may be able to full hold this. They were so conservative, and you have to really respect that. You know, they may be able to stop this here.
Oh, okay. Rio throws out that Earthshatter. Didn't look like it got too much done here. Attune coming in with that Deadeye, trying to snipe somebody out, but the shield is there from the Reinhardt, keeping them safe. So far, just Rio, the only one going down. Yobin will actually fall here, now swapped over to that Roadhog. Gets taken out by Creed, who's just building up for yet another pulse bomb. 50% on the clock for him.
Okay, 1:05 left on the time bank here. X6 doesn't really have a whole lot of ults to work with. They get the pick onto Creed, though.
That's going to be a really crucial one. We saw how much time he was able to buy, but Dala, he swapped over to the Bastion. That's going to be the
Nano
ambush coming
Bastion.
through, and that Smite going down as he just keeps firing away. You can see everybody on X6 having to peel back. 30% on here for Dala. He can taking a more aggressive position, pushing forward, looking to shred out the members of X6 that come around that corner. It's
X6,
35 seconds on the clock. They might be able to do this.
They don't have any ults. They don't have any ults. They have Nano, that's it. And Dala's in great position here. He's going to break this shield. He's making it so difficult right now for them to approach.
That one down. Maybe goes low, but a nice sleep dart does come through. And that's going to buy them some crucial time. Sound barrier gets dropped, and X6 are pushing forward a tune with yet another Deadeye. Trying to fire off, but can't do it. Hyobin comes up with the double kill. They get rid of Dala. 3 members dead on the side of Afrika. Nearly the team wipe coming out as Creed going to be dashing back in as the Tracer, trying to buy as much time as he can, but he gets taken out. That will be the completion. Just 4.8 seconds before we go into overtime. X6 barely keeping their hopes alive.
Barely, but this is going to be a mountain to climb. You know, they still have legs to climb with, so to speak, but this is going to be a tall order to defeat the push that Afrika has with so much more time in the bank. And I'm not feeling like this is going to be very easy. They're going to really have to just have an amazing smashing push where they just push through overtime. It has happened before. It can happen. It's not impossible. But it's not going to be easy, as already mentioned, as we go into this overtime, our first overtime of this tournament. So 3:23 for the Freak of Freaks here.
I mean, really the best thing that you could hope for here for X6 is likely to get the first cap and then try to full hold when they swap over to defense. It's not the best circumstances to come up with a victory, but it might just be their best chance as they come in. You can see Red starting things off here, just going to be going for that solo DPS yet again with a tune over onto the Soldier.
Yes, sometimes we see teams run some really heavy, crazy sneak tactics when they're up against the overtime 1-minute team. Well, you know, like Torbjorn or sometimes the weird Symmetra where you just really hardcore hold it, but they're just going to stick with their guns here. They're going to play standard.
And I'm surprised we haven't seen the Symmetra yet, actually.
Same, especially in a situation like this, but they're just going to try to do as standard as they can here. It's going to be a long time, or a short amount of time for them to work with on X6.
Well, yet another dive comp coming through from X6 as Bebe's back over onto that Zenyatta. Got picked off immediately last time around. We'll see how he fares this time. Boy getting hit up, takes a bit of damage, but overall will be okay. Cinder's Corridor gets tossed out onto Tidala. They work that mech suit low, but Rio is actually going to be the first one to go down. The answer with a kill on the nose might end onto Bebe. So Afrika going to be winning this one, but they have the longer run back, so they have to try to pick up the pace here as best as they can. They do pop the suit here for Hyobin, so that does buy them more time, and it's already 20 seconds on the clock.
18, 17 here. Creed looking for the pick. Any pick is so huge right now. Just going to heal up. We see one last push attempt here for X6. They're going to look to build overtime. Timeboy gets a pick on Navi. That's crucial.
Yeah,
that's a long run back.
And now he's going to try to find another in here, dashing in. Getting some hits down, very far away from another pulse bomb, but he takes out Quartermain. That's going to be a nice crucial pick coming in. No more AoE heals as we do enter into the overtime. The first checkpoint tick will come through for X6, and they might just be able to cap this one as Creed does go down and Dala gets his suit popped. He'll run back in, trying to desperately buy a little bit of extra time before this gets captured.
Creed and Dala dying so late here, those respawns are desynced here as we go into the overtime push.
I mean, this is what it all comes down to. They cannot leave the payload. They need to push this as far as they possibly can.
This is still risky that Freaks allowed this to happen because they may find themselves struggling. They don't have too much time themselves to actually cap when it's their turn to attack. All right, Godsby has the Dragon Blade. They have the Primal Rage, but Afrika Freaks has so many more ults here, notably the Self-Destruct, which can push them off the payload. It's a very crucial defensive ult here in overtime, and there it goes.
They're already going to shove that one out, so already having to step up the payload for just a second as the rest of the team goes forward. Sound Barrier comes down from X6, trying to keep themselves alive. Trying to finish off the Diva, but he can't do it. Actually gets popped by the Pulse Bomb, and Godsby goes in with the Dragon Blade, getting rid of the healers, and Afrika Freaks about to suffer an entire team wipe, and the payload will just keep on moving for X6.
An incredible wipe here, a near wipe, you know, enough kills to have this insane push.
Good lord.
I mean, this is almost unheard of. This is going to be very difficult, actually, for the Freaks, despite their lead in time bank, to catch up to this with only 3:23 on the clock.
Tune, you're so far behind the rest of your team, and I was going to have to try to rejoin with them.
Got split spawn and, or you know, your spawn timing was off there. So, okay, we're gonna see another self-destruct here as they try to maintain this overtime.
And the Sound Barrier tossed out, but no one's really pushing forward to have the shields be eaten up for the most part. But you can see that Earth Shatter does come down, does clip on the nose point. He goes low and will get taken out. 4 kills already here for Afrika, and that's enough to shove them off the payload. They will be able to stop this one, but X6 got so much more distance than you would have ever expected.
That was an insane push, unheard of. So you can see, despite the stop, he still looks at the faces on the Freaks. This is when you play solo queue on the Korean server, and like everyone just switches to Hanzo and Widowmaker because they're like, oh, okay, we're supposed to win this, but I guess we're now just going to troll. But I mean, this is doable by any means. Like we said, it would be very difficult for X6 to have a push or even a cap that Afrika couldn't better, but now the roles are reversed. We said it was tough for X6. Maybe Afrika can reverse-wise do the unlikely here, the unthinkable, but it's not going to be easy. And I feel like they panicked a little bit there. They let the point go, and then they just weren't coordinated after that. The late pickoffs on Dala and Creed specifically were a big problem. They never really got resynced from that point on. X6 got those ults, the Transcendence fight that they had as well. Need I say more? I mean, it was pretty impressive. Going to be defending with standard comp themselves again, bringing Hyobin on the Roadhog, Godspeed on Zarya, so actually committing him onto the Zarya instead of more of a high skill cap here like the Genji, for example. And if they can defend this long enough and he gets that Graviton Surge, it's going to buy them so much critical time here. 99.29 meters. It's a long way to push.
It certainly is. You can see, though, that comp coming through as Na'Vi swaps over. Already a bit of damage coming through as Godspeed's just lobbing off those right clicks, trying to get as much down as he can, get that charge up for the Graviton Surge. If you can get one early, it'll be very crucial for X6 to try to full hold this first point. Poking is coming through, and already Afrika able to posture very far forward, shoving them back into the street. Maybe will go down as Na'Vi takes him out, but they'll exchange for Rio. So the tank advantage will be here for X6, but that's going to be answered by Dala. And now Attune dashing in, looking to finish off Hyobin. Takes him low, he gets the heal, but it's not going to be enough. He falls, and already Afrika looking to cap this one out. They'll do so. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to push 99 meters.
Okay, this is getting pretty crazy. It was another insanely fast capture. X6 willing to back off there. Attune, though, on point, has the pulse bomb now. And the rest of his team just waiting for the ult. Dala so close. Quartermain halfway there. Na'Vi nearly gonna have the Transcendence that can pair with the Dragon Blade that can do the exact same push, that exact same big combo that allowed X6 to push nearly 100 meters here. They're a third of the way there.
Attune's gonna be looking for that big pulse bomb. Smite here with the Discord Orb pushing very far forward. He can come in from behind. See him already trying to back up, throws it down onto the ground. Will get a double kill. He takes out Bebe and no Smite, followed up by the Dragon Blade from Dala, just swiping away, popping that Diva Mech, coming up with the triple kill in the end. That is going to be a team wipe. That is going to be a massive push for Afrika Freaks as they round the first corner.
Now they have so much time to work with to get this. They haven't even started overtime yet. 2 minutes left on the clock. They got that first cap so easily. They got the fight afterwards. And now X6, they only have the Graviton Surge. They were hoping to use that to defend the point itself, to defend the payload, that first capture point. And now they only have it here. We're going to take a look at this Attune Pulse Bomb once more in the backlines. Gets the double right with the Dragon Blade. And here we go, we're live here. 8 meters to go.
Godspeed having that Graviton Surge ready to go. You can see the Transcendence coming through to try to counter out the damage coming through from that nano boosted Reinhardt. Self-destruct will get thrown down right into the back of the fight, but no Smite. He's able to turn around, but the Discord Orb is on top of him, and he's taking too much damage. Na'Vi will actually finish him out and barely keeps himself alive. The shielding coming in right at the last second to make sure he does not go down. Pulse Bomb does get tossed out, but will not come up with a kill, and Time Boy will fall. And this looks so good for Afrika.
I think they're going to close it out. There's nobody here.
There we go. The last couple meters come through, and Afrika, they'll tie it up as they take out Kings Row 1-1 against X6.
A lot of unlikely scenarios back-to-back there in that overtime round, but the Freaks do close it out. And, wow, both teams, especially the Freaks throughout the earlier round of Kings Row, so willing to give that point up, so willing to play passive and not use their ult. So when it came to the overtime round, that kind of bit them a little bit, but then they still came with their own strong push. X6 gave the point away. They had that Transcendence early. They had the Dragon Blade. Attune with a clutch double kill is, I mean, they were already in a great position with the time bank they had when they had that early capture, but it was the Pulse Bomb double kill that really secured them the win. And when Attune is on, he is on, and tonight he has been on fire.
He certainly has been. Dala as well has been having some pretty good performances. Rio, I feel like, honestly, might be the biggest factor in some of the wavering performance we've seen so far from Afrika. So we'll see if he can tighten up for the rest of this set.
Well, there's a long rest of this best of 5 to go, guys. We're only 1-1 tied up here. We're going to go to Game 3 after a short commercial break, so stay tuned. We'll see you in a few. The games we have seen so far tonight in this series have been incredible already. 1-1, but that doesn't even speak the volumes of how close the games that we just witnessed, both of them, both maps were very close in, you know, one of the teams that was most hyped in the past versus this new team that has new fans and is expected to do big things. They struggled a little bit on Kings Row, but it was still a close map. They won the first map, Oasis, and we are tied up. It's still anybody's game as we go into our 2 capture map. We've seen Hanamura twice today already, and it stands to reason there's a high chance we'll see it again if that's what the teams are really favoring at this moment in time.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Afrika Freaks. Red, you've already done better than your entire second season of Apex, picking up 1 map. So that's a good look for them. The road to improvement has been completed. They are now 1-10.
1-10. Well,
but no, seriously though, not being condescending, they actually do look very good so far. They're putting up one hell of a fight. X6 able to get the better of them on Oasis, but even that was a very tooth and nail fight that we saw right there. But coming in here for Kings Row, having that upper hand, looking pretty good. And now we'll see how things are going to change as we move on to 2-point capture.
This will be X6's map choice. With how good...
all right.
There's Hanamura again, 3 for 3. I was going to say, with how good Godspeed's been on the Pharah and also the McCree, we might see Anubis, but nope. Going to be the Hanamura map choice. So we'll see how they decide to defend this. We didn't see any real success yet with the Torbjorn. We saw some mixed success, I would say. It wasn't massively successful, but...
It was like one was really bad and the other was just okay. Neither of them worked out in the end.
Yeah.
But again, Hanamura going to be a very snowballing map, so if somebody can get as fast of a cap as we were seeing on Kings Row, they could very easily spill that into the 2-point capture, just being completely fulfilled with an ultimate advantage.
Well, if both teams play like they just did on Kings Row, I feel like we're going to see 2 fast caps, so this is going to be all about the second cap, because these teams are ready to let the points go the second things go awry. You know, with the long run back, the long respawn there. Guys, it is 1-1, tied up a piece here. This is the promotion series. Tell your friends about it. Challengers Super Week. We're going into game number 3. Winner moves on to match point. Afrika Freaks versus X6-Gaming.
Get it.
Getting it continues.
Yeah, we've been getting it pretty steadily here.
2 things have been consistent all night. Getting it and cherry blossoms.
Yep. We're 9 for 9 on getting it. And 3 for 3 on cherry blossoms, it would seem.
I feel like we're destined for a 4th cherry blossom going forward here.
Ooh,
Quartermain on the Torbjorn.
Oh boy, here we go. So,
you're not hitting anything. What are you doing?
He's just angry at the world.
Trying to hit the oxygen molecules.
So we will see him start this one out. I'm curious to see where he's going to go ahead and place his turret.
Behind the rock, apparently.
Okay, so
it's gonna obviously it's gonna be good against anyone who dives in. I won't be able to do much else.
He's gonna try to get the people that are wrapping around from the sidelines, and hit them there and try to just build up the molten core in that fashion. I'm still personally favoring a very aggressive plant out in the street here. To try to whittle away at them immediately, and then planting another turret as soon as your first one is killed. But apparently I don't know much, because the pros are doing something else here.
Yep, it's not going to be how he decides to take this one. We're not going to see any Widowmaker attempts here for X6. Godspeed's going to go straight to the Genji.
Yeah, they're going straight for the dive composition here. They just want to jump in, which means that they might be able to get a decent amount of molten core meter built up here from this turret as they're going to try to come around the sidelines. Godspeed jumping in, already knocked down pretty low.
Going to grab the health pack, though, and he's going to come back in. Time Boy sweeps around. They've completely avoided this turret for the time being.
Yeah, this is nice control over the left side here for X6 as they move their way in as a team.
Yeah, they have a good opportunity here.
Death Ward's coming through. Discord Orb getting quite a bit of work done here onto Creed as he has to peel back and get healed up.
Yeah, the shield actually helping out here, but they're already on top of this point. They get the first checkpoint. And this is working really well for X6. They've just completely avoided the turret entirely. They've got a huge setup here. 2 kills here. Turret's knocked down twice, I should say. Quartermain's down as well. Rio gets the 1 kill here onto Godspeed.
Yeah, takes him out with a flame strike, so still a nice pickup, and that might just throw a wrench in X6's push. It looks like it will do just that. Dala falls, but so does Hyobin. And they're just getting picked off Rio. He might have heard my criticism after that second game, because he comes out the gate and picks up multiple kills already, 75% on the board for his Earth Shatter. So having some pretty strong success, but X6 were able to get that first checkpoint on the control meter.
Quartermain at 76%, so he's built it up quite a bit, but not where he wants to be here. Creed actually going to sit on this. He gets nano boosted here,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Alive, but that's going to be a bit of a waste here.
Yeah.
He will toss out that self-destruct.
He
does get no smite. Yeah, not ready for the barrier to fall. It goes down, and now Hyobin will get popped out of the mech. He's going to dash forward and comes up with another kill onto Bebe. So said that it wasn't working out. I mean, it's still a bit of a waste on the nano boost, but the answer was so many kills on the backside of that one. Creed comes up with like I believe 4K.
4 kills. That it didn't even need to happen that way. In fact, I was really questioning the nano boost there, but it ended up keeping him alive for a second longer. It didn't need to be. He dropped the self-destruct, and this works out at the end of the day. I don't want to give this like the 2 thumbs up, but I mean it worked out. X6 gonna have to set up for another push here. They have a lot of ults. They're gonna have their own self-destruct here soon. They do have the Primal Rage, and No Smite's gonna commit in here. He's got that available. He's gonna use it at the last second. Drops his barrier.
He's just trying to get rid of him because he was a Discord or target, but can't come up with a kill.
There's the self-destruct. Good barrier here by Rio. Here's the Primal Rage coming around behind him, though, knocking Na'Vi out of the point.
Trying to smack him away as best as he can. Gets a jump in here onto Na'Vi. Does take him down in the end. As that sound barrier comes through for X6 on top of the Transcendence, so going to be very healthy as Godsby offers up that Dragon's Blade, comes up with 3 kills, well, one of them being a turret and a mech on the other side. So still nice take coming in here from Godspeed, but it's still not enough for them to get on top of the point and cap this one. They make it to the second tick, but looks like it might just stop there.
They don't have any ults to engage with anymore, though. Timeboy is going to have Pulse Bomb, but that's it. He's in here. We're just going to see the self-destruct used to keep him away. Creed has been really great on the D.Va on this defense so far. So many kills, such a clutch defense.
Yeah, but honestly, Timeboy is buying so much time for X6. Dashing in, keeping the control meter going up in their favor. Now going low, will get taken out, doesn't have that recall. So did buy a bit of time, but it wasn't enough for the entire team to, get respawn and come in as a unit. It was fairly staggered, so Afrika do maintain a foothold. 30 seconds on the clock. We'll see if they can just go ahead and complete the full hold on this one. X6 is going to have to give it everything that they have, but there's no ultimates available for them.
Yeah, they're going to have to somehow buy a lot of time on overtime to get those ults. No Smite is close, 10% away here to that Primal Rage, looking for the kill here. Unable to get it, but does push Attune away. Now he's got the Primal Rage. They can use this to buy some time. Unfortunately, Bebe is down, so he's not going to get Transcendence anytime soon.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and pop this one, trying to smack them off the map if he possibly can, but instead might just have to settle for breaking the mech. One more hit would do it. There we go. Finally finds it and comes back in, finishes off Dial Waves in the middle of the Dragon's Blade. And they find Quartermain, they find Creed, so X6 getting a foothold here. 3 kills, will be able to cap this in overtime. So 4 minutes on the clock for them. They're going to have to make use of this rather quickly. Try to get some ultimates back up for themselves. At the moment, it's just going to be the Pulse Bomb.
Well, luckily they really only needed Timeboy's first Pulse Bomb and then No Smite's Primal Rage to get this, so they're going to have Sound Barrier soon. They're going to have Dragon Blade. The Self-Destruct was used as well. They're actually coming in here very aggressively right now with this early push. Will they commit to the Dragon Blade? That's the question. Timeboy misses the bomb.
Yeah, not going to find it, but they still take out Rio. He was a target of the Discord Orb, so he falls, and that's going to be both of the healers going down as Na'Vi and Quartermain get picked off. Bebe does lose his life to Attune, and the Self-Destruct comes through, zoning them back off of the point, buying some more time for Afrika Red. Let's see if it's going to be enough, though, because there's still multiple members of X6 staking their claim on the point at the moment. Rio comes back in off the respawn, though, comes up with the double kill. And he'll go ahead and stop that one right in its tracks. So a decent hold here from Afrika. No ticks on the board for X6.
Unfortunate. Still 3 minutes to work with. The big loss here for them is the Dragon Blade. They don't have that anymore to go for a big engage. The Sound Barrier that they used to pair with it just did not work out. And so time going to be burned here, and it's going to be a while before they can actually have that heavy engage here. They have Bebe with Transcendence, but for what? There's no big Dragon Blade engage.
He's already getting jumped on. Yeah, he's going to have to pop that Transcendence. Too much damage coming through, focused in onto him. So the rest of X6 likely going to have to come in off the backside of this. It's going to be the Pulse Bomb thrown down, finds Na'Vi. No way for him to stay alive through that one. The Timeboy with a very crucial pick, but the rest of his team maybe losing their lives. Already Bebe and Godsby going down, and Rio will finish off Gilly. So 3 kills here for Afrika, only losing Dala and Na'Vi thus far, so they will hold yet again. as the clock hits about 2 minutes.
It's wise of No Smite to leave here without using Primal Rage, save that, because there's no way he was really going to find anything from that. They've only got 2 minutes left to work for. Godspeed dying is unfortunate again. It hurts his Dragon Blade charge, but he's going to have it up eventually. Dala had to use his to defend. And Bebe used that Transcendence mostly just because he wanted to switch into the Ana. They want to have one more nano-boosted Dragon Blade to go for a push here.
Trying to find his way onto Bebe, but that barrier is doing wonders for it. Double Pulse Bomb coming through, finds Godspeed and Bebe, pops the mech on top of it all. A crucial pickup here for Attune, yet again finding the just magical plan of that ultimate. Recall coming through from Timeboy, trying to keep himself alive, but the clock will keep ticking down, and Attune basically solo-handedly stops that push.
And this is horrible for X6 because they didn't build any more Dragon Blade. Godspeed switches because he realizes I'm probably not going to have this opportunity to use it. I'm just going to go mechanical on my left clicks here. I'm going to switch over to McCree. I'm going to make this happen through my skill just like it happened on Oasis. I'm going to get to the high ground here. This is risky, and if it's scouted, it's going to be obvious what's happening here, and they know about it now. They're going to have this one last chance here. Sound Barrier up in 20%, but that's all they have. Bebe dying earlier too means he doesn't have nano, so they don't have that electronic cowboy, as you like to call it. But it's going to be, this strong high ground position regardless, and Godspeed is a mechanical god on this McCree. He's going to have to make it work right here, right now.
X6 at this point only have that one more push, as you say. You can see that self-destruct coming through from Yeoman, but already gets jumped on. The Dragon Blade will finish him off. Not even the Dragon Blade, actually Dala just running him down without the use of the ultimate. Creed will go ahead, pop his as well. The self-destruct won't find anything, but it zones them back. And now all on its lonesome No Smite, one hit from Dead does get taken out. And everybody from X6 just filtering in one by one, getting picked off in the same fashion. This might just be the end of their hopes for Hanamura on the attack.
Yobin doesn't have self-destruct. Godspeed has Deadeye in just a second, but with only 12 seconds left to go, nothing to pair it with. They're just going to drop Sound Barrier, perhaps Nano, to try to force this to work. No Smite has the Earth Shatter. They've got one last chance here.
One opportunity, but somebody has to get on top of the point ASAP in order for this one to work out. It's 1 second left. You can see the Diva does fly in, buying them a little bit of time. Electric Cowboy coming in with a nano boost, trying to keep him alive. He's looking for a target with the Deadeye, but can't find anybody. They're all just hiding or sitting behind the shields. He'll get a drop shot in on the quartermated, but it's not enough to finish him off. And Ty Dollar with the Dragon's Blade will take him out. That's going to be it. And Afrika able to hold off on that second point.
You can't really blame them for that botched, desperate last engage. There was nothing else they could really try there but try to nano the McCree and force their way in. But, afterwards, of course, the what setup was there failed, and the Deadeye couldn't connect. There was a shield in the way, and everything just fell apart from there. They used so many ults earlier, and the fact that Godspeed had to switch off of the Genji because he died twice because of Attune's pulse bombs was the big issue there. And Attune has been a real mechanical god. Did they cap in overtime? Did we miss something? Let's watch this again, actually. I think even the Korean commentators were confused. Yeah, I think actually we missed something. That's why we're having this replay.
Oh.
Did they step off? Oh my god, they did.
Oh, got the charge through. Was that it? It was the charge through that did it.
That is insane.
Wow. So we both missed that.
Yeah. Well, so did the Korean
us and the Koreans is what I meant.
Yeah.
But okay, that's not what I anticipated.
Well, everyone realized that real quick. But anyways, they get the cap in overtime off screen.
All right.
Unbeknownst to us, it looked like when he was sliding through, so the overtime was like bouncing down, but he did get it. A funky camera angle there. Either way, they do have the second cap, which puts a lot more pressure, of course, on the Freaks here. And, well, I'm a bit shocked that that saved everyone's eyes. But anyway.
Hey, our bad. We missed it, but sometimes difficult.
Sometimes difficult indeed. But that's okay, Seth, because I don't afraid of anything, and we're going to jump into this second round here. Freaka Freaks on the attack. They're going to run a similar dive comp. Navi on the Zenyatta, slightly buffed in recent times. Putting that orb onto Attune right away, and they're going to jump in head first. Creed leading the charge. An incredible Diva performance on the defense. We'll see if we can repeat that on the attack now.
We can expect that one. Navi going low, actually gets taken out. The Helix Rockets from Godspeed helping to pop him down. Finishes him off with just a couple shots there. So already a good little halt to the push here for Afrika. We'll just have to kite back into the streets.
Just going to back off here. You're ready for a second follow-up push. Not a whole lot of ults for either side here, but Gilly has built up 34% of that Molten Core.
We'll see how well he's able to utilize this one. The Torbjorn from Quartermain lasted a bit longer than I had anticipated. Ultimately, they did lose that point, so we'll see how much he can do. Time Boy goes low, snaps back, gets healed up here. His co-worker that's sleeping on the ground, but he's able to come up with a pick on the Navi in the end. Quartermain as well, and there's just nothing he can do to avoid the onslaught from that Tracer, from that Winston. So he goes down, a 2 for 2. As Afrika continues to try to push in here, but just getting picked off one by one yet again as the Toon goes down.
And they're not able to get the first checkpoint either here. Dala trying to do what he can to finish off this Dragon Blade charge. Navi's still pretty low. He's at 66% of the nano, but they're getting closer. Quartermain's going to have that sound barrier, so they're going to have this really strong push they can follow up with. If he gets the pick here, this would be huge. He's actually going to go ahead and pop it.
Yeah, he pops the Dragon Blade, doesn't even get the hit onto Godspeed, so actually might not get too much done with it. Does find the mech, will pop that one, and actually finds Time Boy at the same exact opportunity. Works him down. The Molten Core coming through from Gilly, but he'll get popped immediately as the Toon just charges onto his face. Burns him out with the pistols, and now the Freaks staking their claim on this first point. You can see X6 is going to concede this one over as they cap this. 2 minutes remaining on the clock for them here. They're now going to get bumped up to 6.
Dala doesn't get the kill here actually on the Godspeed, but it's actually finished off by Rio.
He just happens to find Time Boy. He wraps around the backside, and on the second swipe, Time Boy was coming forward, and he just takes him out.
Really nicely done from behind there.
Very opportunistic.
So, you know, obviously they're going to, if they capture this at all, and, you know, unless it's an overtime, they're going to have a lead here in the time. Dala's up in the front. Has a sound barrier on him, no Dragon Blade to work with, but still doing a lot of damage, building up his Dragon Blade very quickly. He's
chunking away as best he can, but he does have to peel back and pick up the health pack. Meanwhile, Atoon firing away, does get the nano boost, pops the mech, which will go into the self-destruct, but it's dropped to the bottom, and actually does find Quartermain, so they take him out, Navi goes down, so that means Afrika will have to go ahead and peel back. The remaining members just gonna let themselves die inside. So, using a couple ultimates there and not gonna come up with too much.
Yeah, it looks like the Freaks still have a pretty significant lead in terms of ults. Dala closing in on that Dragon Blade. Creed has the self-destruct he can use to start the engage. Atoon can follow that up with his tac visor, but it's not going to be an easy approach. Luckily for them, they have 5 whole minutes to work with here, so they don't have to force any issues here. That might have been a kill on old Ana. Maybe hitting some nice shots there.
Lining him up, but unfortunately, this is not the right patch. They're trying to get those kills.
Navi!
Time Boy dashing into the back, trying to get the pulse bomb, but it will not stick, so wasting that one out. Can't get the pick onto Navi.
Would have been nice for them there for the defense. Unfortunately, not to happen. Atoon nearly at that tac visor.
Almost has that one back up, but Dala goes down, and that's going to be a very nice pick off here for X6. Denying any more percentage on that Dragon Blade. Rio too far forward. Can't commit any further. He'll go down. So Afrika yet again is getting delayed. And No Smite's going to dive into the back here, trying to get maybe an exit kill, stagger as best as he can, but just a bit too far forward. Doesn't want to overcommit, so he'll just go ahead and leap back in.
That earlier used sound barrier onto Dala. He's only going to have the Dragon Blade to himself. Doesn't mean he can't make it work. Creed's going to switch into the Roadhogs, looking for a pick-oriented style here for the time being. And soon to be the nano for Bebe. Probably going to use it on No Smite, I imagine, for the defense here. They have a lot more time they have to defend, so they want to be careful how they use their ults.
Yeah, I mean, they want something that can take care of Time Boy, who's just being such a nuisance on the backside of the fight from the sidelines here with this Tracer. He does go low right there, but they're unable to finish him off. Dala dashing forward, Dragon Blade coming through. No sleep dart to be offered up by Bebe. He'll just go down. Sound barrier does get popped by X6, trying to sustain through this Genji. And will be able to do so as well as through that tac visor. Atoon not really putting anything on the board, but Dala able to go back in and finishes off Godspeed. Gets him with the deflection on the tac visor, taking him out. But they will have the recalls. They get Dala. They get Quartermain, and Rio looking like he might fall as well. So Afrika still struggling to find any chance to get onto this control point.
Yeah, Yobin's not going to need this self-destruct either. Just going to save it. Navi has that nano boost now. It was really important that Dala got the kill onto Bebe there. And what's really interesting is Gilly actually knocked him away. He was about to get the kill onto Gilly as well. Right-click, the boot kept him off. So good mechanical play there and reaction time by Gilly. I think this would have been a totally different fight had that gone off. Either way, setting up to go up to the second floor here. Attune once more on the McCree now. Mechanical skill here going to be the big factor in how much damage he's able to get and how much charge he can build quickly.
Yeah, failed dash there, maybe looking for an entry for the pulse bomb, won't be able to get it. The wraparound from the staircase was spotted, tosses it out, and got eaten by the D.Va. So Tydala just consuming that one for himself, so ultimate wasted here from Time Boy. And now all of Afrika getting ready to pour down from the Raptors in onto the control point. Attune, Electric Cowboy coming through, doesn't have the dead eye, but still firing off with those left clicks. Self-destruct, not going to find anything here for Hyobin. So just going to re-enter that one and try to offer up what damage he can with the left clicks here. Flashbang comes down, that's going to be the hit as Godsby falls. Attune yet again showing prowess with this McCree. But it's not netting Afrika Freaks too much time on the control point. They only get the first tick thus far with 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining.
Don't forget,
they come up with more. That's going to be the mech pop.
Off camera, Rio wasted the Earth Shatter, so it's not available right now. No Smite actually barely jukes out Attune there. Not an easy task. He gets the kill. That's a very important kill. Really going to stagger the spawns here. 1:30 left to go. Remember, even though we called it otherwise, X6 did finish the second point. So Afrika Freaks Red has to push this. They have to make this work. They have the Deadeye this time, but nothing else to really pair. They're going to have Nano fairly soon. They probably will have that. They'll have the self-destruct Earth Shatter because Rio wasted it earlier, got no value. That's going to be really painful for them. Had they had that, this would be a much easier push to make work. Creed does have this whole hog as well, but it's not the easy one to really get kills with. Here we go, Time Boy looking for a pick to slow this down.
That's going to be the Deadeye coming through, looking for a target, but can't find any. Everybody just crouching right out of vision, and the hit not going to connect. Pulse bomb thrown down, won't come up with any kills here for Time Boy, but now he's going to go ahead and turn in on a Quartermain with the help of No Smite. They take him out. Creed pushing forward, he's going to hide behind the wall. Time Boy here, dodge out on that self-destruct. Overall, still just rough stuff here for the Afrika Freaks.
Nano Hog
into the Nano Hog. Goes out, they're going to go ahead and just push the Winston away as best as they can. Will it be enough? That's going to be the big question. 4 people have gone down. They're looking for Godsby and No Smite. The only ones that haven't fallen on the side of X6, but the recalls or the respawns are starting to come through as that second tick is achieved by Afrika Freaks. But if they lose anybody at this point, it could be absolutely crucial for them losing this game. 19 seconds on the clock. Earth Shatter comes down. They find Bebe. Can they follow up the kill? The answer is going to be no. He's kiting back the sleep dart in onto Rio.
Quartermain on the point.
HP, but he's not doing anything. He's not getting any damage in. And now on the backside, disconnected for the team. He will be taken out. They find a sleep dart. The point so close to being taken here by the Afrika Freaks, but they just need to get inside Quartermain, trying to buy as much time as he possibly can, but he's all on his low, so he will get taken down. And a little bit more here, and X6 should be able to, and they will be able to finish this one out. And they will move to match point. Now 2-1 over top of Afrika Freaks.
2-1. Turns out we've seen some crazy Reinhardt charges in this series, but that Reinhardt charge to get the second cap on Hanamura was the money one, as that went down to the wire. Quartermain doing everything he could to try to hold on, but it is not enough. And this has been a very back and forth series. I mean, every single game has been close, even if it turns out that we go to a 5th game and the Freaks take it, and everyone looks at the results and say, wow, it must have been a close series 3-2. Unless you watch the VODs, you won't really know how close it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing this isn't baseball. We don't just call it off of us being the referees, because without that replay, that would have been Afrika Freaks going, at least forcing into overtime.
Well, you know what's funny is when the screen came up, the in-game screen came up and showed the 2-0, I was like, oh, this is bugged, it's not supposed to be showing, someone's messed up in the production room, and I'm like, wait, that says 2-0.
No.
Everyone's realizing at the same time what's really going on here.
They're trying to show us something.
All right, the Afrika Freaks Red on their last legs here. They didn't win a single map in Apex Season 2. Got knocked down here to this Challenger Super Week matches. And now we're going on to what could be their last set of tonight's matches. Dorado will be the map choice for the Freaks. We're going to see it for our second time this evening. Wasn't enough for Flash Lux. We'll see if the Freaks can turn their luck around here.
They really need to. These games have been so close, but it's just been barely evading their grasp. The start here for Oasis for Afrika after such a strong start on that 3rd point. Trying to come out with that win on the city center. They just could not get it. They pick up Kings Row in shaky fashion. But now X6 having the upper hand after such an odd victory on Hanamura.
Yeah, we were so close to going to tiebreak there. And you know, the funny thing too is even though that happened, the Freaks nearly capped at the end as well.
Yeah, they got it close. Just close but no cigar.
All right, well, this is Freak's map choice. They feel confident here. They're going to have to win this and our 5th and final map in order to win this series. It's been a close game every single game. We'll find out if Dorado leans the same way. Can Africa Freaks Red bring us to a 5th game? Or is X6, this new rookie team, going to take them out 3-1? Let's find out.
I get it.
10 for 10.
Yep.
I'm going to say.
It's been a good day for getting it.
So, Africa Freaks Red on the attack first. And that's going to lead them, basically it's going to put them on their lifeline after this push, where they stand.
Yeah, they're going to have to come out strong here, because a loss here to X6 puts them one more best-of-5 loss away from being bounced back into Challenger.
They fought so hard to get out, and it wasn't easy for them in promotions. They had some tough opponents there. They made it into Apex Season 2, but were utterly destroyed in their tough group. So they're looking for redemption here. Rio, the big question mark here, I feel Creed has been pretty consistent. Creed has looked really good on both the Diva and the Roadhog, and occasionally on the time-buying Tracer. He's done quite well there too, mechanically. Rio, I feel like, is the guy who's made incredible plays, but has also made very foolish plays, and has cost them big. If he can tighten it up, perhaps they win this game, perhaps they go to a 5th. All right, in terms of defense here, we're going to see a pretty standard comp. Godsby was looking at the Widowmaker, but went back to the McCree.
Yeah, it's just going to be that single DPS again here from Godsby coming out on the McCree. Freaka Freaks doing just the same thing, but the Roadhog offers up a bit of DPS. So it's sort of like a half and half there, the pseudo tank coming in. They will wrap around onto the high ground, trying to shove X6 back as best as they possibly can, force them behind that underpass so they can at least work the payload up into that choke point and try to move forward from there. Creed's going to be playing around the top, looking for a hook. See if he's able to do so, finding somebody like Bebe or Gilly or even Godsby.
Or even No Smite, pull the shield away wouldn't be too bad.
That's true.
But he's unable to get it. Well, actually, no, I take it back. He gets the kill on Gilly, never mind. Taking that healing away half of it. And the push continues here.
A lot of bursts coming through there on the members of Africa. They'll answer that one out with a biotic grenade from Na'Vi. Just trying to burst heal him back up, and Rio, it's not going to be enough. He goes down, and Tidala looking like he might follow suit, and he does. Godsby coming up with a double kill already, having that Deadeye. Follows up with a third, killing Attune in the McCree mirror match. That's going to be a very nice ult here for X6, stopping this payload just before point A.
Give Godsby an inch. He takes a mile. He's really been impressive on this McCree when given the space to work with it. Headshots all over the place. Really mechanical hit scan player here as Creed nears his whole hog. Timeboy has a Graviton Surge. He can try to use it at the choke point. Might just drop it on the payload. We'll do just that.
Throws it down, just finds the 2 tanks, and that's going to be the nano boost coming through. Trying to boost up No Smite so he can swing his way to victory. Does take out Rio, hooked in. Maybe not the target that he wanted, but actually the pick coming in from Attune on the backside, landing his headshots and finishing him off as he drops down. Now going to be an ult advantage over to Africa. 3 in the bank already, almost at 4 here with Rio about to get his Earth Shatter, so they might be able to complete this push to point A.
Yoban wants that self-destruct so badly. It could really help out in this defense to stop that extra time here. Godsby at 50. Okay, here comes the Deadeye. He's going to look for a pick. Could allow them to perhaps push through, but no coverage, or too much coverage, I should say. No single target for him to pick off.
He's zoning him back, but actually Godsby is able to come up with a kill on Creed in the end, pushing too far forward. We're estimating how far he can go here against that McCree, and now Africa losing out on him. They have to kite right back into the underpass.
See if we see that trademark Rio charge in to the Earth Shadow. They've got Dala with this Graviton Surge. It's soon to have actually a sound barrier, so they've got a lot of ults to work with. Looks like they're trying to just Hail Mary this, all in it with everything they've got to get that extra time.
They very well could. I mean, the ultimates are still coming through from X6, currently having 4, almost 5 with an nano boost coming through from Bebe. So this is going to be pretty much a skill fight. You can see, though, the boost coming through onto the whole hog here. For Creed just firing away where he can. Graviton Surge locking up a couple members of the shield from No Smite, blocks quite a bit of the damage. He will still go down in the end, as will Bebe and Godsby. So already good openings here for Afrika. They follow up with the Gilly and Time Boy, and nearly a team wipe coming through in favor of the Afrika Freaks. They'll go ahead and be able to complete point A. 46 seconds on the clock, so a decent rundown by X6. So now 3 minutes here for Afrika to make their way to B.
Toon's got his ult now. Rio didn't have to use Earth Shatter. Unless I missed it, and he got another one already. I'm pretty sure he did not use that in that last fight. But still, this is that extra time they need. They've got 3 minutes left to work with. Reed up here on the high ground looking for the hooks, the picks. He hasn't been so successful, minus that pick onto Gilly earlier on. Okay, here comes another Deadeye. He actually had a few targets but missed the trigger. Gonna wait here with the bubble up. Oh, just barely misses the Ana around the corner.
Yeah, can't quite get that one, but now no smite up here on the balcony. Swinging away, comes up with a kill on the Tidala. Be looking for more as he chases in pretty deep. They have the barrier up here from the Zarya, trying to get as much charge as they possibly can in onto Time Boy. Has a Graviton up. Not a lot of energy. But a nice little shove back there, X6 just delaying. It's a game of inches at this point now. Just trying to whittle away at that meter. Because once they round the corner, they get over to this choke point, it's going to be that much more difficult for Afrika to continue the push.
They don't want to give up too much ult charge here either. Oh, here comes Time Boy. He's just going to drop it down. A good shield. This ends up being pretty wasted. Godsby on the high ground. Does get the mech at least, and actually gets the headshot here on the Dallas, who gets the kill. At the end of all things, looking for the kill into a Toon, and he gets it! This is Godsby's skill we've heard so much about.
That's going to be the triple kill there. He finishes off Rio. Looking for a little bit more, but Afrika, they just got to kite back towards the spawn with their tails between their legs. Minute 45 now on the clock for them, and not even to that crucial choke point. X6 do invest just a little bit here, but they still have a nano boost. They're about to have a sound barrier on top of that self-destruct, so Hyobin can toss that out to try to zone them off the payload, buy even more time for X6.
Godsby doing so much damage. He has another Deadeye here in 10%. He's so close to that. A Toon at 81 currently. If he gets another pick, it would be huge. He's looking for it.
Already has it, but up into his face goes Tidala, just trying to buy as much time as he possibly can. Still gets the pop and gets him mid-air, taking out Tidala yet again. Now searching for Quartermain, but Atune is able to fire back, pops a Deadeye of his own, but has to fire it off and just go ahead and kite backward before that self-destruct takes him out. There's going to be a decent opening here for freaking continue the push towards point B. Finishing off two members of X6. It's going to be the nano boost thrown down here for No Smite as he pushes forward. Maybe looking for an Earth Shatter, just have it available, but the shield is up from Rio. So they'll just kite back. They're just going to stick to the front side of the payload, kite around it, and make sure that it can't advance anymore.
Godsby's not going to be able to hit them under these, and hold that thought. The Earth Shatter totally whiffs here. The sound barrier is going down regardless, and they're going to actually engage on this. 40 seconds to go for the Freaks. Sleep here onto No Smite.
He will get knocked down, so can't follow up for any more kills, but a Toon falls, Creed goes down as well, and Afrika yet again are going to be struggling to try to come out on top of this one. A beautiful flashbang from Godsby into the headshot.
He gets into the health pack!
Up with that, and that's just another roll straight into the health pack. Godsby not going down, has another Deadeye still to go, and it's 15 seconds on the clock for an Afrika Freaks team that has 0 ultimates available.
None. 10 seconds here. Will anyone even be able to get on this to push overtime? It's going to be unlikely. They don't have any speedy characters here. They're going to look for it, trying to ground the corner.
Have to try here. You can see though the Graviton Surge sucking them in away from this one. They're still able to contest, however, as Quartermain wraps her on the backside, keeping it moving. And honestly, nobody from X6 has really paid attention to this one. Finally, you will see Gilly backing off, trying to back up and prevent this from occurring, but they're just going to get picked off. Godsby able to kill Atune, and Afrika.
There's the Godsby emote as well. Clean as all can be here is Godsby. Way outperforming Atune. Now, it's easy for that to happen when you're on the high ground and you have this defensive advantage, but he just wrecked everyone. He would Deadeye into just the kill on D.Va, but that's all he needs, because he doesn't need Deadeyes to get kills. He needs D.Va to be dead so he can kill people with left clicks, and that's what he's doing over and over and over again. So he says, I dare you, D.Va, come up and stop my Deadeye. I'm going to knock you out of the mech. I'm going to get that biotic grenade to heal myself, and then I am just going to left click anyone who dares to get into my line of sight. No one left to block him. And that was really impressive. Yeah. All right.
Godsby putting on a clinic here.
He really is.
I mean, Atune with some decent plays here, but Afrika Freaks overall coming up massively short here. Not able to get it to the second point. X6, all they need to do is get it to A, work it all the way to that 82-meter mark. And you can see already, they're not even going to try to fool us here. with the composition already just going to be hovering in over top of that dive comp. We'll see the Orisa for a second, but it's been evading us or eluding us all day, and I doubt we're going to see it here.
Yeah, not when the stakes are this high. It's just not a fully figured out hero yet. Most pros saying it's just not viable at this moment in time. Talked to a lot of the Western pros before this tournament. They're agreeing with the Korean side of things here, so we will see if she makes an appearance later on, but so far the answer is no. And Godsby actually swapping around here. I would love to see him challenge Attune when Attune has that defensive high ground advantage to see if he can actually win it the other way around. I have confidence he very well may. Haven't really seen his Widowmaker yet. Looks like he's going to try to get a pick and then swap.
I'm going to see if somebody's playing far forward here. The Freak of actually playing back.
Yeah, he's just scouting perhaps. Oh, going to commit though.
He's pushing forward a little bit. Going to look for the pop-up. Trying to find a snipe, but just going to be met with the Reinhardt shield. So, okay, you know what? I'll just go ahead and swap back. We'll see what he wants to do if it's going to be the McCree yet again.
I hope so.
That's going to be the Genji, actually.
So, committing to that dive instead.
Yeah.
Attune on the McCree once more. Built up quite a bit of ult meter already for his Deadeye. Oh, look at this.
Well,
Insta-grab.
The mech going down already. So Hyobin, bad spot, has made it out with his life, but going to be stuck in that baby diva form for a little while here. So he tries to build up that meter. And Boy with a very nice dodge, keep himself safe. Fires back with quite a bit of damage onto Creed. Can't come up with a kill onto that Roadhog.
He's been pretty consistent with his pulse bomb so far today. He's going to wait here, it looks like, to just allow perhaps Genji to distract when he comes into the back lines. It's exactly what they're going to look for here. Godby goes in. Will he get hooked? Actually, no. Just the Roadhog alone pushes him back. He's going to look for it now, and he gets it.
In, does find it onto Attune, yet again taking him out. Now dashing forward through that barrier, trying to keep himself alive. Does not have the recall, drops low. Orb coming through, trying to pop him back up, and he will stay alive in the end. Meanwhile, the rest of the team of X6 are starting to pick up kills onto the Afrika Freaks. The healers have been eliminated as Na'Vi goes down. Timeboy able to come back and finish him off. Will die to Tidala in the end, but this is still looking like a very concise push for X6 as they go ahead and already make their way to point A. Rio comes in all by himself. They'll toss out that self-destruct just to try to buy a little bit of time. Hyobin will lose his mech. But still, this looks like a matter of time here for X6 to be able to complete this one. Godspeed going in, will get flashbanged as Attune finishes him off, has the nano boost running through, firing away with a revolver as best as he can.
Okay, Attune has his Deadeye here. Gonna need to use this, gonna have to make this work. Oh, no smites on him. There's the Transcendence as well, he can't get these kills. Gonna pop it anyways, gonna wait for that to wear off. For the pick on the no smite, he gets it.
There we go, gets him right as he gets bumped above the barrier, so not able to be blocked there.
They hold for now. They hold for the time being. 1.79 meters left to go, but they don't get it. 2 minutes on the clock. A lot of ults here actually charging up for the Freaker Freaks. Red Rio soon to have that very important Earth Shatter. They can try to buy this this extra time. Dala not too far away from self-destruct either. And the point rolls back.
We'll see if they can get it. They need to buy as much time for themselves as they can before that extra time bank comes in here for the completion on point A. Rio going to be looking for that massive Earth Shatter if he can find it. The sound barrier coming down from X6 as they try to push in, but Bebe will get locked down and taken out immediately.
But already 3 kills here. This is going to be very tough. Rio's Earth Shatter probably realistically just wasted. All things considered, no real value there despite the kill onto Bebe here. Timeboy cleans it up, and this will be a push to the extra point, the checkpoint, putting them at 340 for their final push to try to close out this series.
Yeah, it's one of those moments in solo queue where you land a massive ultimate and you're like, guys, did you see that? And then you look around and everybody's dead. You're like, okay, well, I guess that was for naught. So, won't be able to come up with anything, and now just not going to be having that Earth Shadow to stop this further push. You can see just 82.63 meters is all that X6 needs. Barely getting around that corner for the second overpass.
Godspeed does have Dragon Blade, but nothing to pair it with right now. He may just pop it anyways. Hyobin gets the kill here into the Creed with Timeboy's support. Timeboy just sitting on this high ground, controlling it. He's the king. He has the pulse bomb. He's going to look for the pick on Attune. Attune is unaware!
There it is yet again. Finds the stick right onto Attune, his target of choice. Burning him out yet again. Follows up with a kill onto Na'Vi, and Afrika Freaks Red are just dropping like flies. Rio, the last one to go down, and we are just 20 meters away from X6 completing a 3-1 victory.
Should have been communication to let Attune know this was coming his way. They knew already he had the kill. Oh, this looks to be a good push here. Creed has to get the sound barrier onto him. Self-destruct, trying to buy time. Attune looking for a pick, doesn't get anything. Tidal, though, does get the self-destruct kill onto Gilly. That's a start.
Attune gets nano boosted, but he gets knocked right off the map by No Smite with the primal range. Now he's going to come back and help clean up the rest of Africa Freaks Rio.
Rio needs to get on it. He needs to get on it.
He can't get there in time, I don't think, and even if he does, the HP bar is not there, and X6 will go ahead and complete the victory. 3-1 over Africa Freaks. Hard fought for the most part throughout the first 3 maps, but Dorado, complete and utter devastation by the hands of X6. They pick up their first best-of-5 win here in Superweek and are just one more away from earning their way into Apex Season 3.
We've got a large group of fans for them here. This was one, big step for them, getting into that winners match right away. So close to just going directly in. They have such high pressure on them. There's so many high expectations for this team, and with how the Koreans are expecting them to do based on their challenger performance. They had that first place seed coming into this tournament, and it wasn't easy, but they did defeat the Africa Freaks Red. And on the other side of the coin here, the Freaks are not out of this tournament. They're not going to get relegated to challengers anytime soon. They still have another best-of-5 to play in that losers match first of all, but it feels like perhaps the torch is passed in terms of which teams, the hype was behind. Going into Season 1 Challenger, a lot of people were saying even before Apex Season 1, the Red is even better than Blue. It's unfortunate they didn't get in. They got through the promotions, they performed very poorly in Season 2, and they've lost this first match to the amateur team X6 that was at the top of Challenger. And you have to wonder, can they turn this around? There was so much hype behind them, but now where is it? They're just not performing. It's tough to criticize them against such a good team that did so well in Challenge, but it's tough. It's got to feel rough to kind of, in a sense, pass the torch to this new team that's taking their place in the hype train moving forward from Challenger.
Well, now, Africa with this loss moved to a record since the beginning of Season 2 of Apex of 1-12. Just picking up that single map, and X6 starting things off very strongly here with that 3-1. So good job to them. But hope is not done yet here for Africa. They have to play in that losers match, and then if they're able to win that one, they go on to the final qualifier. But hopes are pretty good for them, as they will be playing that losers match against Flashlux, who did not put up too tough of a performance here today, earlier on in the day when we started off. So definitely highly likely for Africa to come out on top of that one, unless Flashlux can go into the hyperbolic time chamber and really invest hours and hours of practice before that game tomorrow.
Yeah, that will be the question. This is not the end, though, for our matches for today. We had 2 this afternoon. This is our third best-of-5 of the evening. It was fiery. It's unlikely that our next match will be this